Hey guys, it's Mercury Skype, and in today's video we're going to talk about jewelry collection. Here you are wanting to create your jewelry collection. I admire you for it. I am a big fan of having a jewelry collection in your home, but the right collection. I am a big fan of choosing the right collection. I'm a big fan of how to make that jewelry collection so that it's wearable and maintainable. And I'm a big fan of having a jewelry collection made with the right sense of fashion. Let's go through this. If you are in the position where you decided to make your jewelry collection and wear it, a lot of those clients that were either bijou or were kind of all over the place, and then they're like, Rita, I want to have these pieces just like my fashion in order. I want to have a jewelry collection that I wear all the time, that I maintain once a year, and I just love it, adore it, and we take care of that. We work with clients on their jewelry collections. We start their jewelry collections. This happens a lot. So what do we start with to begin with? If you're out there wanting to create your jewelry collection and wear it, number one, you have to buy quality jewelry. Because if you don't buy quality jewelry and want to make a jewelry collection, it will be super hard for you because things are going to break, stones are going to start missing, and you're going to get upset and think, how did I spend all this money? I'm just going to go back to wearing bijou or cheap stuff. At least if I wear cheap stuff, I'm not worried that I have to throw it out. Wrong. This is totally wrong idea. You have to think different. First, you have to buy quality jewelry. It doesn't have to be, I don't want to say expensive, because if you're going to buy quality jewelry, it's given that it's going to be more on an expensive side, but you have to be smart. So if you are on a certain budget and you want to get, let's say, 8 or 10 pieces that you want to wear, then think of your first collection to have no diamonds or possibly less diamonds, because diamonds are a maintenance that you may want to wait on. You want to go and spend money on jewelry items with just gold first. White gold, rose, yellow, doesn't matter, but go for plain gold. Plain gold earrings, plain gold bracelet, plain gold chain. When it comes to gold earrings, make sure you know yourself. Are you a type of person that wears hoops? Are you a type of person that wears studs? Are you a type of person that wears English locks or Omega? This is very important to know yourself when it comes to earrings, because if you're gonna buy studs in gold, with stones or without, and they're gonna go missing because you didn't know yourself, you're gonna be upset that you just spent $400 on a nice pair of studs and one of them went missing, right? We're talking about gold collection, platinum collection, diamond collection. So here you really have to think, because you're no longer spending, cheap. So you really have to think, what kind of person am I? If you are the type of person that wore studs all the time and you were fine and you love studs, go for it. That means that you know how to wear studs. You know that studs need a nice butterfly, preferably screw back, or a silicone backing so that it's not easily going to take off. If you're the type of person that wore studs before, go for it, because studs are my least favorite earrings, unless they're screwbacks, because studs get lost a lot. So listen to me very carefully. If you're gonna go for studs, make sure you're going for screwback or something very safe. There's plenty of very safe things on the market now. There's screwback. There is the one where you can have a hinge that you press on two sides and it closes. But if you're going for studs, you really need to be careful so that the studs don't fall somewhere and get lost. If you are the type of person that's calm and easygoing, and you put your earrings in and you take them off, put them out in a little box, if that's your personality, if I just described you, go for studs. If you are clumsy, crazy, you love different hair, wigs, hairdos, and you're just on the go all the time, and you're crazy and your stuff is everywhere and you're on the go all the time, do not go for studs, because studs will be missing. Even sometimes when there's screwbacks, because the screwbacks, if you're that type of personality that I just described, can't unscrew itself unless you really diligently screw it on. But then if you're that type of personality, a lot of them are not diligent and they don't screw it until fully. They just go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm on the go, I'm going. Which means that you didn't do it the proper way, because the screwback earrings, you really have to stand there and screw it and screw it and screw it and screw it all over again. So this is very important when you're going after your collection. Make sure that you know yourself. If you're on the go, and I just described someone who found themselves, then you're better off going for hoops with a hinge. You see, my hoops have a hinge, closes, you cannot reopen it. You have to open this hinge in order to open it. If you're on the go, you better go for something like that. Or if you're on the go, maybe go for Omega as well. They're a little bit more on the safe side, although I have to say Omegas can get lost too. So you have to really, really know yourself. Since you're going after your first gold/diamond collection, first really find out what you like to wear. If you don't know what kind of earrings suitable for you, buy some cheap Amazon silver earrings with a mega, silver earrings that are hoops with a hinge, silver earrings that are studs. Wear them before you go into your collection. This is my 5 cents on earrings. Let's go further. If you are wanting to wear a pendant and you're shopping for your collection for a pendant, whether it's gold or diamonds, first you need to know what kind of pendant person are you? Are you the type of pendant person that you're gonna put a pendant on and take it off at the end of the day? Are you the type of person that likes to put a pendant on and take it off at the end of the week? Or are you the type of person that puts a pendant on for a dinner and then takes it off? This is very important. Although we are talking about collections, it is important to consider this before you buy your first pendant in your collection, because you need to buy a certain pendant that will not break, that you're going to enjoy and have the quality that you enjoy. So the thicker you go, the better it is, because the maintenance will be easier and you'll be happy because it won't break. If you are the type of person that's simple, you put it on, you have some dinner, you take it off, then you can go with any thickness and you're gonna be fine. So if you're gonna go for your first pendant in your gold or diamond collection, make sure that you know your length as well. Test yourself out with 16, 18, 19 or 20 inches, whatever feels more comfortable before you buy. If it's too long, it will have a tendency of flipping. If it's too long, it's going to have a tendency of breaking. If it's too short, you're not going to feel comfortable because it's going to choke you. If it's too short, you're not going to be comfortable because at the same time, it's going to be more prone to breaking, because when you do these movements, the shorter chains move and it can break. So before you buy that pendant, you really need to test yourself. Again, my 5 cents, buy some cheap pendants, different lengths, and see how you feel with different lengths before you buy that gold chain or that gold pendant. Let's go to bracelets. With bracelets, it's the same thing. If they're going to be too thin, they're gonna break if you're clumsy. If you wanna buy that chain on your bracelet and wear it all the time, go for thicker bracelets. If you wanna buy a bracelet, wear it on occasion or for dinner, then it doesn't matter how thin and thick you wanna buy it. With regards to length, same thing. Play around with bracelets from Amazon first, because some people love it loose, some like it tighter, and again, if you are not going to be careful and you buy too tight, it will break. If you're buying too loose, it will also break, because the loose thing, especially if you have multiple chains or watch, will go against other things on your hand and will have a tendency to break too. Now, let's go on to rings. Rings are important because you need to know what type of person are you. Once again, do you love cocktail rings, in which case you wear bigger rings to go out? Do you love everyday rings, in which case you're gonna go to more minimalistic side, buy a whole bunch of smaller rings and wear them all the time, every day? So before you buy a ring in your collection, have a talk with yourself and ask yourself, what kind of personality are you? If you're a go big or go home type of person, then go with a few cocktail rings. Make sure that they have fewer stones to begin with, because if you are just starting your jewelry collection, you want to get used to a bigger amount of stones in maintenance. If you're a clumsy person and you buy a huge ring with a lot of stones, if you're clumsy, you are going to bang it, stones are going to start coming out. This is not because the jewelry item was made bad, although it could be, I don't know. But if you buy a quality piece of jewelry, quality starts at around $1,000. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you buy a cocktail ring starting at about $1,000, the stones should not have come out unless you wore it for, let's say, 1 year. If you're clumsy, you wear a ring for 1 year and one stone comes out or it starts being loose, then that's normal. That's just maintenance. You come back to your jeweler, he's gonna tighten all the stones and see if any of the stones need to be retightened, see if any of the claws need to be repaired. That's totally normal. Again, if you wear it all the time. If you bought a cocktail ring and you wanna wear it 2, 3/10 times a year, then it's fine. It shouldn't need a repair fast. One of the know-how is taking your earrings and just, go in your ear and listen to them. So if you go like this, tap, 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 listen to them. If you hear like this crackling, shaking sound, then check every stone yourself. Kind of go through it and check, because sometimes you yourself can see that something is moving and prevent the stone from being lost before. So a lot of my clients, when they come, they're like, Rita, I feel like there are some stones that are loose, and 100% they can feel it that it's loose because they tap on it and they can hear this crackling sound and they know that it's loose. So we can repair the claw, tighten the stone, and they can wear it, and it's easy peasy. Everything is maintenance, totally normal to maintain your jewelry all the time. Now, with the rings, again, the only thing I want to stress is if you want to go with big rings, be careful, go with smaller amount of stones. First, if you felt comfortable with that, then go to the next level and buy a ring with a lot of stones. The more stones the ring has, the more maintenance it needs, the more careful wearing it needs. The less stones it has, if it's all gold, even better, then almost no maintenance is needed. So know yourself, know what kind of person you are, and feel yourself with the jewelry. Jewelry is very, very interesting, where the jewelry that you wear needs to be hand in hand with the personality that you share. If you don't know yourself and you start buying all these different jewelry items, you're gonna get yourself very upset, because the problem is that if you don't know yourself and you don't know how you wear your jewelry, things are gonna start breaking, stones are gonna start being loose, and you're gonna lose some jewelry, you're gonna lose some stones, and you're gonna be thinking, oh my God, all the jewelers do bad job, horrible quality on the market, I cannot find anything good. And those are bad negative thoughts that should not happen. It only happened from one reason: you don't know yourself and you don't know how to wear jewelry, and you don't know how you wear jewelry in particular. I have a client, very fancy, beautiful personality woman. I love her, but she's very clumsy. She's theatrical personality. You know, she wears wigs and different types of wardrobes that are busy, you know, with like collars that go up to here. So she started collecting her jewelry with like thin little pendants and thin little earrings. It did not work. And no matter how many times I stressed, you know, as jewelers, we find ourselves in a weird position too. I can't tell her, look, you're a very busy wardrobe person. You need a jewelry that can withstand what you're doing, right? I can't say that because that's rude. So I tried to explain to her that if you're on a busy side, if you like to do a lot of funky hair stuff and everything, you go out all the time, you know, you're not a careful person with jewelry, you need thicker stuff. It's hard to explain to a person. After she lost one earrings, then one pendant, she came back, you know, crying, saying, what is this? Why am I losing this stuff? Why is this breaking? I have to explain to her, you know, your hair sometimes is up to your knees, because she likes to wear her hair big and do extensions and everything. Your jewelry, if it's a tiny jewelry earring here, the hair gets caught in it. And you know, you're on these dinners, you go like this with your hair, you go like this with your hair, it's everywhere, you have all these wardrobes and everything. Yeah, you're gonna start losing these earrings because one, you're not careful, two, that's just the way your personality is, and three, you need something that can withstand that type of day-to-day going out, day-to-day work, and so on and so forth. So if you don't know yourself and you decided to have this jewelry collection of yours, especially if this is your first time, you know, wanting to go into this jewelry collections, then I'm sorry to tell you this, but first you need to go and have a talk with yourself, how you wear your jewelry and how you maintain it and what kind of lifestyle you have. So before you decide on your jewelry collections, please do your jeweler a favor and yourself, and really have a talk with yourself, whether you need it thicker, thinner, bigger, smaller, and what you can maintain. And guys, if things start to break, don't panic. You just have to understand, okay, well, it looks like I thought that I was careful, but I'm not, because most of my clients cannot have a talk with themselves. They think they're careful, but they're not. And this is where the problem comes from. So if your jeweler tries to tell you, okay, this is, maybe you want to go with a thicker pendant or with a thicker chain or with bigger earrings or with a better hinge, you know, then maybe try to listen to them and see if maybe they are correct. It's Margarita Skypen, and I hope you learned something in this video. I'll see you in the next one.